हम नहीं कराएंगे उसको, नमक का खेती नहीं कराएंगे। भाव बढ़ जाएगा तो नमक का खेती हम ही करेंगे, बच्चे को नहीं कराएंगे।
The state of Gujarat is responsible for 76% of India's salt production. Over the past 2 decades, the salt produced in Gujarat has travelled from our kitchen to every possible part of the world and played a pivotal role in production and development across industries worldwide. In the same western Indian state of Gujarat, situated is Kutch, geographically the most important part for salt production in India. In this region, where industrialists in the salt production industry have made substantial growth, there exists a backward community known as the Agariyas. Their historical role and significant contributions to the salt production industry span over centuries and hold undeniable importance. Emerging from the often overlooked and evolving community at the heart of the industry, the Agariyas have toiled tirelessly for generations in the centuries-old tradition of salt farming, despite largely remaining unnoticed. Much like how salt swiftly dissolves in water, their presence and contributions have almost faded into obscurity. Once considered the lifeblood of Kutch's salt production, the Agariya community has dwindled to a mere 3,500 families, a fraction of their former strength.
ये देखो, इसमें 800 टन हुआ है मीठा। 10 एकड़ का प्लॉट होता है, इसमें 800 टन। इसमें 4 आदमी होते हैं। पानी देने वाले खंपारा चलाना पड़ता है, फिर उसको बाहर निकालना पड़ता है।
ये मोटर है, पंप मोटर। ये यहाँ से पानी जाता है उधर, गामड़ा बांधा हुआ है। ऐसा घूम घूम के 22 डिग्री होता है इसमें, फिर इसमें चार्ज करते हैं, इसमें बाद में नमक निकलता है।
The groundwater in this region is 10 times saltier than the seawater. This briny groundwater is drawn up using bore wells and channeled into expansive salt pans measuring 25 meters in length. As the water gradually evaporates under the influence of warm or hot climatic conditions, it undergoes a transformation, crystallizing into salt.
मैं और मेरे दादा परदादा यही काम सदियों से मीठे नमक का करते आ रहे हैं और मेरे पापा वो भी नमक का ही काम करते थे।
क्या कुछ है, अभी काम करना ही पड़ता है खेती का। ये बच्चे के लिए, पेट के लिए, ये मेरा उम्र ही इधर है, नमक में निकल गया है।
In a 10-acre salt pan, nearly 4 farmers, deprived of all social facilitation necessary for a living, and after an entire day of hard work, managed to arrange only 2 basic meals a day.
The salt farmers live without the basic amenities, and their kids learn in small tin and mud sheds. Though the government runs 15 makeshift schools in the barren desert area as part of Sarva Shiksha Abhiyan, they lack the basic supplies. Agariya Hitrakshak Manch, an NGO this year, took an initiative to bring e-learning to this remote region.
मोदी सरकार ने सब सहायता दी हुई है और उसके पगार भी देते हैं। टीचर पढ़ाने के लिए आते हैं तो उनको भी पगार मिलती है और बच्चों को पढ़ाती है।
While laboring in the salt pans of Kutch, the Agariyas live in relative isolation from the rest of the society. Consequently, in the past 2 decades, the government, NGOs, and various activists have worked to improve their quality of life, provide access to medical care, and ensure educational opportunities for their children.
ये भाव अपनी पूरा रेपर ये बैठा देता है भाव, कोई डायरेक्ट माल लेने के लिए नहीं आता है हमारे पास, दलाल रखता है।
हम लोग आगरिया है, हम लोग की नमक पकाते हैं और हमारे से 25% में ले जाते हैं और 125 में बेचते हैं। हम आगे नहीं पहुंच पाते हैं।
60 रुपया टन पे वैसा माल।
On 12th of March 1930, Mahatma Gandhi initiated the historic Dandi March as a powerful protest against the unjust taxation imposed by the British on salt in India. Millions, including Agariyas, walked alongside Mahatma Gandhi in solidarity to voice their opposition. The question arises, are these Agariyas today not also victims of comparable unfair trade practices and monopolization within the salt industry? Is their centuries old struggle, reminiscent of the Dandi March, not deserving of our attention and support?
आप सीधा जाकर फैक्ट्री में क्यों नहीं बेचते? आप इनका इंतजार क्यों
फैक्ट्री
करते
में
हैं?
जाने ही नहीं देते व्यापारी हमको। हमारी खेती है, हम डायरेक्ट सौदा नहीं कर सकते। और कोई सौदा बोल रहा है दलाल से बात कर लो, बाद में हम मान लेंगे।
हम 8 महीने ये काम करते हैं तो ये बड़े लोग आकर हम लोगों से ये नमक छीन के ले जाते हैं और खर्चे भी नहीं देते, पैसा भी नहीं देते।
Though these Agariyas from the salt pans of Kutch are commonly addressed as farmers, they're not officially recognized as farmers. They're officially considered miners and are counted in the mining industry.
सरकार तो क्या कर सकते हैं, हमारा गरीब आदमी को सुने बात तो कोई नुकसान दे सकती है तो फिक्स कर दे कि इतना ही भाव नमक का मिलेगा तो हमारा फायदा रहेगा। कोई बीच में कोई खा नहीं सकता ऐसा, तो हमको मालूम पड़ेगा इतना ही भाव है उसका।
What lies ahead for the Agariyas? As the mechanical salt industry continues to grow globally, producing top quality industrial salt for numerous sectors, can the Agariyas join hands with these industrialists for progress? With their expertise, is it possible for the Agariyas to partner with their industrious counterparts, creating opportunities for a better shared future?
Last 20 years, we have been changing our techniques from labor oriented to mechanized. Almost 90% or 95% of the salt fields have converted from manual to mechanized or semi-mechanized. The production process of manufacturing salt is same, but harvesting has been changed. We have about 15,000 acres of land and all our salt fields are all mechanized. So earlier, let's say 100 acre of land was requiring about 20 to 30 Agariyas. But now in the entire 15,000 acres of land, we hardly have any number of Agariyas. Not Agariyas, part-time laborers, technicians, pump operators, washery operators. Number of employment is same, but the life has become very easy.
अभी अगरिया भी बहुत छोटी छोटी जो सॉल्ट वर्क्स है ना उसी में रहते हैं और वो भी बेचारे कुछ टाइम काम करते हैं, बाद में चले जाते हैं यहाँ से, कंटिन्यू उसको भी काम मिल नहीं रहा है। बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां टोटल मैकेनाइज सिस्टम से काम कर रही है अभी।
The role of Agariyas is like now has become very limited. Earlier, the life of Agariyas was really very, very harsh. I'm talking about 15 years back, 20 years back.
पापा घर पे रह के तो पैसा किधर कमाएगा?
The lives of the Agariyas were challenging in the past, and today they face limited opportunities and an uncertain future. Can we truly characterize their lives as simple?
जैसे उन लोग के बच्चे हैं, कुछ लोग आ सकते हैं ऐसे मशीनों में आ भी गए हैं, हेल्पर करते हैं, फिर ऑपरेटिंग करना सीख जाते हैं तो कर सकते हो।
Earlier, the quality conscious was not there for Agariyas. They were only concerned to produce only edible salt. But if you have to manufacture an industrial grade salt, definitely you need to have more control on the brine.
अगरिया तो अभी एक्चुअली देखे तो अगरिया का कोई रोल ही नहीं है सॉल्ट वर्क्स में हमारे हाल फिलहाल। जो छोटे छोटे सॉल्ट वर्क्स हैं उसी में है, तो बेटर यही रहेगा कि वो भी ज़रा टेक्निक वाइज इम्प्रूव होते रहे। अगरिया के पास नॉलेज है प्रोडक्शन का, खाली ऐसे ही पानी छोड़ने से सॉल्ट नहीं बनता है, उसके लिए भी बहुत चेक करना पड़ता है।
India's salt industry has undergone substantial growth and diversification, extending into the production of industrial grade salt that caters to various industrial applications. With the assistance of the government, over the past decade, India's mechanical salt industry has not only become a major player in international trade but has also elevated its technological capabilities to produce top quality salt. However, Agariyas, in spite of such remarkable growth in the salt industry, couldn't evolve beyond edible salt and 2 humble meals a day.
The government was providing salt land in the various areas in the Kutch, in the overall Gujarat, and that's how the production has increased. Salt is not only used for edible purpose, but it is used in about more than 18,000 applications worldwide. Salt is main source of chemical NaCl, sodium chloride. Yeah, I mean salt is everywhere.
The Agariyas lead contented lives within their small, self-contained world, perhaps unaware of the global recognition and multifaceted applications that salt produced right in their backyard has already achieved.
It is into space, spacecraft, it is into airlines, it is into railways, automobile, your cell phone, your television, it is everywhere. Without salt, nothing can be produced, for sure. Salt manufacturing is concerned in India is more than 25 to 30 million ton a year. And the salt export from India is roughly about 12 to 13 million ton a year.
This is not a climate talk summit. We have had enough talk. This is not a climate negotiating summit because we don't negotiate with nature. This is a climate action summit. Young people are here providing solutions, insisting on accountability and demanding urgent action. They are right. My generation has failed in its responsibility to protect our planet. That must change. The climate emergency is a race we are losing, but it is a race we can win. The climate crisis is caused by us, and the solutions must come from us.
Climate change, stemming from environmental shifts and global warming, has had far-reaching effects on production methods and the ecosystems supporting human and wildlife populations. The salt industry, specifically in agriculture, has been notably affected by these troubling developments. In a span of just 2 years, Indian salt exports, which had previously held top global rankings, have experienced a significant decline, settling at much lower positions.
कि साल्ट इंडस्ट्री की जहाँ तक बात करें तो दो चीज़ें सबसे ज़्यादा इम्पॉर्टेंट है। एक तो इवेपोरेशन विंडो जितना ज़्यादा लार्जर होगा प्रोडक्शन उतना ज़्यादा होगा। तो जब हम इवेपोरेशन की बात करते हैं, अगर बारिश हर 2-3 दिन में होती है तो ऐसे में डिस्टर्बेंस ये होता है कि जो वहाँ पे वाटर पार्क्स हैं जिसमें साल्ट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, उनमें आपका एक तरफ साल्ट प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है, वहीं दूसरी तरफ वो वापस से उसी में इवेपोरेशन रेट घट जाने की वजह से बारिश के कारण वो फिर से उसी कंडीशन में लौट आता है।
Salt has to be produced in dry weather, like dry in the sense less rainfall.
700 रुपया भाव होगा टन पे 1000 किलो का। अगर हमारा माल पड़ा रहता है, ये साल हमारा पूरा माल 3000 ऐसा ही चला गया, हमारा बिक्री नहीं किया, घाटा बहुत हो गया, 10-15 लाख का घाटा हो गया हमारा।
Earlier we used to have hardly 5 to 10 inches of rain a year, but now this is just this year particular. This is just start of the monsoon, and we have already received 3 times the rainfall.
तो इसके कारण जो विंडो मिलता है कि आप लगातार 10 से 15 दिन का अगर एक ड्राई पीरियड मिल जाता है तो जो प्रोडक्शन का एक स्ट्रीमलाइन प्लस जो उसका ट्रांसपोर्टेशन है टू द कंजम्पशन प्लेसेस एंड अदर इंडस्ट्रियल प्लेसेस, वो विंडो हमें ओपन उतना नहीं मिल पाएगा।
Climate change and global warming are attributed to a multitude of factors. Pollution arising from chemical energy and industrial waste stands as one of the primary culprits. The consequences have taken a toll on both human well-being and productivity, manifesting in adverse ways.
नमक में समझ लो बाजू में कोई फैक्ट्री होगी और धुआं उड़ेगा तो नमक काला हो जाएगा।
वो नमक में क्वालिटी खराब होती है।
Anyone who pays attention will quickly see that climate change brought on by global warming is widespread, which should be enough to make us all very concerned about the potential risk it poses to our children and grandchildren. We must carefully repair the harm previously done, one at a time, if we are to prevent the extinction of human race on Earth. First, we need to slow down climate change, and then we should work to entirely eradicate the danger. However, switching from chemical energy to green energy can be a good first step in order to achieve that. Green energy will definitely slow down the process, even though it might not totally eliminate the hazard. The use of green energy will also be instrumental in resolving certain geopolitical conflicts. It is available in abundance across the globe at an affordable price.
पहले डीजल से होता था, अभी बिजली से काम होता है।
सोलार ऐसे तो बहुत महंगा है, लेकिन सरकार ने 10 एकड़ के कारखाने के पीछे उसने राहत कर दिया। जो 3.5 लाख में पड़ता था वो 70,000 में मोदी सरकार ने दिया।
इंस्टेड ऑफ डायरेक्टली गोइंग फॉर क्लाइमेट रेजिलिएंट सोल्यूशन, हमें पहले तो सारे इंडस्ट्रीज को एक जो मैं कहना चाहूँगा ग्रीन सॉल्यूशंस हैं, जिससे हम रिसोर्सेज का जो एक्सप्लॉयटेशन है, ये एक्टिविटीज थोड़ा सा रिड्यूस करना पड़ेगा, सो दैट हम क्लाइमेट चेंज के इफेक्ट को कम कर सकें।
सौर ऊर्जा श्योर है, प्योर है और सिक्योर है।
In general, any activity that requires energy must come from a renewable energy sources, and solar energy has been proven as a cost-effective technology, and more people are using it in all sectors, and therefore the salt industry should also use more and more solar energy for all its operations. Good thing about solar energy is that it's available everywhere. The solar energy technology is one thing that can be integrated anytime, anywhere, especially near the equatorial belt and all those countries, which covers more or less the entire world. As the time will pass, the operations based on the diesel, petrol will become more and more expensive. The supply chain will become more and more difficult, and that's why the beauty of solar energy is that it will be available wherever the farmers are, and therefore it is much more easier to integrate, and also will have less difficulty in terms of the operation, installation, maintenance, because as the climate change is worsening, the other operations are going to be more and more complicated. The geopolitical issues will come in picture, the temperature rise will come in picture. But if you are locally independent, then your operations are going to be much more simpler and much more cost effective. Well, the message is very simple, that not only we as a human on the planet survive because of solar energy, but every living creature on the planet exists because of the solar energy. And because we are eating food, because we are drinking water, because we are breathing air, we are all using solar energy. So sooner or later, everybody has to switch to solar energy, 100%, not even 99%. So even salt farmers have to switch to solar energy, 100%, for not only their daily applications of energy needs, but also the energy needs of farming.
We need to link climate change to a new model of development, a fair globalization with less suffering, more justice and harmony between people and planet. Is it common sense to give trillions in hard-earned taxpayers' money to the fossil fuel industry to boost hurricanes, spread tropical diseases and heighten conflict? Is it common sense to build ever more coal plants that are choking our future? Is it common sense to reward pollution that kills millions with dirty air and makes it dangerous for people in cities around the world to sometimes even venture out of their homes? It is time to shift taxes from salaries to carbon and to tax pollution, not people.